Alright there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and I'm going to be updating you again on some more latest news. Don't forget to press that like button, subscribe to Chazzaboy Davenport as usual, and yes, we have got a few things to discuss today. The first topic of development is the main headline about the video that I've named, is about the 19-year-old Renato Sanches. Currently now, Carlo Ancelotti has basically quoted out that he is adamant that he will sell Renato Sanches. And it basically it will materialise. Basically, he's basically confident that he wants to get rid of Renato Sanches, but he has currently ruled and discarded the Vidal move off. He's basically resisted to that and reluctant to sell him. Basically, there has been talks in I don't know for how long. I think Manchester United currently went for Renato Sanches last summer. I don't think we got him, but Carlo Ancelotti is a fantastic manager for Bayern Munich. Of course, he's been at Chelsea in the past. He's got a good, fantastic pedigree as Carlo Ancelotti. But there has been discussions about this Renato Sanches, who's a player that I do highly rate. He's currently been at Benfica in the past. He's been at Benfica. You know, he's now at Bayern Munich, and he hasn't really had the game time that his expectations was as a 19-year-old player. He hasn't really had the game time under Bayern Munich as Renato Sanches. He only made 17 appearances last season, didn't get a goal, didn't get assist. He hasn't had really a chance to perform or, you know, play his part in the team. And it's been guaranteed now that Bayern Munich have got these players in such as James Rodriguez and all that. And plus they've got Vidal there. He's not going to get enough game time under his belt, is Renato Sanches. He's a player that's very versatile though. He can play on wide roles. He's a player that's good at driving forward. He's good in the air. He's quick. He's strong. He's aggressive. Very precise on the ball. AC Milan have also showed an interest in getting the 19-year-old signature as well. AC Milan have done good business in this transfer window so far. I think they've got quite a few players in. But Renato Sanches, I would really like him at Manchester United because we need a midfield, because his midfield's looking static at the moment. There's not enough speed in there, there's not enough penetration in there. And him, Herrera, Pogba would be fantastically ideal. I'm not quite sure if it's one of Jose Mourinho's main priorities. I think he was a possible target before. Right there. I think he was. There's been talks about before he'd have come if Jose Mourinho was manager Renato Sanches, but I think it's either they're asking for the 40-odd million price tag for Renato Sanches, but we may get him. They're also allowing a loan deal. You know, we may structure it. You know, structure this more. You know, structure it, get him on a loan deal, and then structure it more from then. Or we just might pay the 40-odd million pound basically that Bayern Munich are asking for his signature. And his performances to the youth have been absolutely sublime as well. And back in the Euro Championships, his glowing reputation, you know, his performances were absolutely fantastic. That's what made Bayern Munich basically get him on the board. He hasn't had enough game time. He's adamant that he does want to leave. Carlo Ancelotti basically said he's materialised, he's confident. He's insisted he will leave. Because basically Bayern Munich don't really need him now. They've got a couple of players in their team now. So yeah, Renato Sanches could possibly make a move to Manchester United. We know AC Milan has been in discussions basically, but I think they failed to meet the demand that Bayern Munich are currently asking for, the current German champions. So yeah, that's basically the latest news about Renato Sanches. Any more latest news? Yes, Arturo Vidal is a player who I'd also love at Manchester United. But Carlo Ancelotti is the speculation about this. He's basically reluctant to sell him. He's resisted. He's basically said Renato Sanches is not going anywhere. He's basically 100% comparable to Jose Mourinho when he currently said when Jose Mourinho had said what did he say? David De Gea was 100% staying at Manchester United, and that's how confident Ancelotti is with Arthur Vidal, a player who's currently been at Juventus in the past, a player who's currently been at Bayer Leverkusen in the past, is a player that's good, he's strong, he's quick, he's strong, he's good in the air, he's very versatile, he's good at driving forward, he's got a good passing ability, he can score goals also. Probably one of the most efficient midfielders in world football is this Arthur Vidal. As much as I'd love him at Manchester United, you know, he'd complement your likes of your Herreras, your Pogbas and all that. He'd be absolutely fantastic, but he's disregarded the move. He's basically Ancelotti's standing firm, basically saying Vidal is basically not for sale. So there has been an interest in Manchester United, but I don't think Ancelotti's going to sell him. But also Mourinho's a massive fan of, a big supporter of Renato Sanches. He hasn't been a main priority for the entirety of the summer. Not much talks have been going on to try and get him. It's only been like in the last, last 5, 6, 7 days or so, there's been possible talks going on to try and capture the 19-year-old. People say, oh yeah, we've got we've got young players, we've got Scott McTominay, we've got Andres Pereira. Yeah, we have, and they're good. They've done well in the youth system. Jose Mourinho has created a lot of youth into the team, and Renato Sanches would be very ideal. Vidal would be very ideal, but Vidal's not going to happen by the looks of things. There's still improvements, and you can tell Ed Wood was gone on the US tours to try and get deals finalised. You can understand the frustration with the lack of investment in the transfer window so far, which is very, very disappointing. But yeah, and with Verratti could be still a possibility. I'm not quite sure what's going on with Verratti. Verratti, now he's got Raiola as his current agent. Raiola represents him. He's sanctioned his previous agent. That could mean some signal signs that he could possibly join Manchester United. Is he considering him making a move to Manchester United? Are PSG willing to sell him without getting something in return? I do really like Verratti. Verratti's very tenacious, very competitive, good at driving forward. Also scores goals as well. He's got fantastic pass shot accuracy at 89%, or is that pass accuracy, something like that. There has been discussions. Barcelona have been discussing. They could be still in the incentive to get him on the board. And PSG had also demanded Martial in the equation for us to try and get Verratti on the board. But if we offer like a 60-70 million pound offer for Verratti, then PSG may consider selling him. But either way, we know with the Perisic scenario, we know with the Verratti scenario that they've tried including Martial in the deals. And Martial's a player that's going to grow. He's going to develop fantastically well into his game. As you saw against Real Madrid, absolutely fantastic player for Martial. Absolutely piece of brilliance, individual play, gets past 3 Real Madrid players in some fine style. Absolutely stellar, and teases Lingard with a precise cross. What a fantastic assist that was from Martial. And Antonio Martial's a player that still needs to improve on his game, but he's still only young. He's still one of the world's most expensive teenagers, is Martial, and he still needs to improve on his game. But Manchester United are not going to sanction Martial for any deal that is possible, because he still needs time at Manchester United. So he hasn't been a player since he did lose that number 9 shirt, Antonio Martial, let's be honest, but that's just the way it is. But the main concerns is that midfield. It's not strong enough. There's no speed. There's no penetration. Players are struggling to feed players ahead of them. It looks static. It's slow. There's not much tempo in that midfield. And you've got a midfield of Carrick, who's not strong enough going on to next season. Of Fellaini, you could saw the signs in the Real Madrid game. Too slow on the ball. And they get easily targeted so easily because they're so slow. They lose the ball too quickly, struggling to drive forward, not really good enough. So yeah, we definitely need that midfielder. That is my main concern. Verratti would be the ideal. He won't be one of the favourites to come to Manchester United, but we'll have to see what happens. Also, I've got some latest news to update you with. The latest news is about Kylian Mbappe Currently, the young teenager who's probably one of the highest prospected players in the world. He's currently won honours before with his absolutely fantastic performances. Was absolutely fantastic for Monaco last season. 29 goals. As much as I'd love him at Manchester United, absolutely prolific goal scorer. Probably one of he's probably one of the best teenagers in the world in world football. Is this player? We know that Arsenal have showed their interest in getting him a few times. A couple of bids have been rejected from Monaco. We know City, I think City have been in there. We know Arsenal, yeah. We know numerous other teams have been in there to try and get Mbappe. Real Madrid have been in the incentive to get him for quite a while. Now they had to basically offload at least one of their players. They've currently lost Morata of Real Madrid. And now, according to reports, basically Monaco rather resisted. They were basically persuading Kylian Mbappe to stay. But now, as it turns out, according to the reports, I think there has been negotiations going on, that Real Madrid and Monaco for Kylian Mbappe have agreed a £160 million deal for Kylian Mbappe. And apparently this deal has been agreed. It's been Real Madrid's main priority since they've been after him for quite a while. Is this true or not? I do not know. But from Monaco's perspective, you know, they've lost Benjamin Mendy. They've been a team that's been hard to negotiate. They've lost Benjamin Mendy. They've lost Bakayoko. They've lost Bernardo Silva. You know, probably Fabinho's staying at Monaco now as they're reluctant to sell him. As Manchester United have been trying to get him on the board. Di Marzio had announced it before. We was close to getting a signing. And then other teams had come in the equation to try and get him. Didn't really work out. There's options for him out there, but I think Monaco are wanting to keep Fabinho. As much as I'd love Fabinho in the midfield, you know, compassive, good at breaking up the play, good at driving forward, skillful, fast, quick on the ball. And also, Arsenal still show their interest in Thomas Lemar as well. They want Thomas Lemar, who's another fantastic, prolific goal scorer as well for Monaco. So basically, if this is true, what is said, the narrative, and Real Madrid catch him, Kylian Mbappe, that's 4 key players that they've lost. 4 key players that gained them, who played a part last season of them winning the Liga 1 and progressing to the Champions League final. And why would Monaco want to sell nearly all the best players? I know they've got replacements in, but you don't want to sell a lot of your best players, you know, your Kylian Mbappes, your Mendes, your Bakayokas, your Bernardo Silvas. That's 4 players lost if this comes conclusive with Real Madrid and Monaco. That's 4 players that Monaco have lost. I can't see Monaco wanting to sell any more of their top class players. Yes, they are getting quite a load of money for them, and they possibly can find individual replacements. But there again, you know, they've been a team that's been hard to negotiate with, asking too much money for their players, and this is why they've been struggling in this transfer window. So whether that's true or not about Mbappe, I do not know. And basically, it was sanctioned. They basically said he was basically not for sale, but obviously stories do change every day in the press and the media, and that's just the way it is. And with Perisic, Inter Milan still demanding, they want the £48 million. Basically, that Di Marzio basically announced a while ago. They still want that £48 million. They've tried still including Martial to demand Martial as part of the deal a few times. As I keep saying over and over again, Martial is not going anywhere. He's staying with Manchester United. He publicly tweeted out to Arsenal before he's not going. False rumour. We know Wolfsburg have showed their interest. We know a lot of other teams have showed their interest. Inter Milan, PSG. You know, a lot of teams have showed their interest in but we're not going to get rid of him. And Perisic, I can't think of maybe any other left winger that we can basically get than Perisic, to be quite fair. Perisic is a player that I do really want. He's considering that he wants to make the move. He's trying to force the move. Currently on China at the moment. We basically expect this deal to be fully completed now. It was speculated last Monday that this was supposed to be announced. Went to Tuesday. It was supposed to be announced 48 hours. Supposed to arrive in Manchester to complete everything. Instead goes to China with the rest of the Inter Milan squad, and now it's basically a huge debate, and it's a delay at this moment in time. Ed Woodward has come on the US tours trying to finalise deals. And we know with the Verratti case, Edward and Raiola have had discussions to try and get a deal finalised for Verratti. But I am frustrated at the moment as transfer. I really am frustrated the way things are going on at the moment. The next possible signing could be Renato Sanches, could be Perisic. I don't really bleeding know, guys, to be quite honest with you. I just don't know where we're at the moment. This transfer window. I know we've got Lindelof. I know we've got Romelu Lukaku. So that's good. Fantastic news. And also with Matic, I think Chelsea are still wanting Alex Sandro from Juventus. Of course, they've got Bakayoko on the board. They've got a fantastic midfielder there. They'll be more proud now they've got Morata in. I think Diego Costa is set to leave Chelsea. So, yeah, the way the transfer window's going at the moment is hotting up. I still favour City because they've made 5 fantastic signings. Chelsea have made good signings. Arsenal have only made 1 though, so they'll be a bit frustrated. Arsene Wenger and that'll be frustrated, trying to get deals over the line. But I said negotiations take time. It's not just about the money, it's the bids, it's about, you know, the structure, it's about the agent fees and the wage as well. And with Renato Sanches, not quite sure what this may be if we were to get him, what the basically salary would be, whether it was on a loan deal, whether it was a permanent deal we got Renato Sanches on. So we'll see. As I brought the news out to you guys yesterday about Chris Smalling, I did say it may have been a bit of an insult, West Brom offering £10 million. Chris Smalling's a player who's done fantastic over the period of years that he's been at Manchester United. We know he's a player that's been at Fulham. We know he's a player that's been at Millwall before. He has delivered the goods at the right times. I thought his form under Louis van Gaal was fantastic, was Chris Smalling. He only made 18 starts under Mourinho last season. I thought he did receive criticism because he did struggle last season, did Chris Smalling. But he's failed to replicate that form, but if you basically take into consideration with the money that's been spent on defenders, you know, this season or in this transfer window or over the years, you know, you can take into consideration we paid 31 million for Lindelof. I'm not going to judge him. He has failed to perform. He has failed so far in his pre-season games. Bailey, who's also a fantastic defender anyway, is definitely comparison to Smalling. We did pay over just £30 million for him last summer. We've also had Everton buy Michael Keane for £25 million, I think it was. And we've also had over the years, we paid for a world record fee for Ferdinand about 16 years ago. Also, we had a fantastic defender before, Nemanja Vidic. I absolutely loved him as a Manchester United defender. I wish we still had him now, to be quite honest with you. So there's been big money for defenders, you know, as I'm going to... Kyle Walker for City, Benjamin Mendy, but obviously they're definitely comparison to Smalling, but he looked very lethargic last season. But we know other teams have been interested in getting Chris Smalling. We know other teams have been interested. But obviously, he's not really going to get that first team football now. Obviously, West Brom have captured Johnny Evans offers before. They've captured Darren Fletcher offers before. But Chris Smalling is a player that has failed to get the form. But if you've got now Lindelof there, if you've got Bailey there now, if you've got Chunesby now rising up the ranks and getting into the first team who can play in those positions, if you've got Daley Blin there, you know, and also we've still got injuries at that left back position. We've got Rojo out, we've got Ashley Young out. Who's the other one? Rojo, Ashley Young, Luke Shaw. So really, it's going to be hard for him, Smalling, to get that first team that he wants. I thought it was fantastic with Johnny Evans before, was Chris Smalling, but it's going to be hard for him now to get that first team Chris Smalling that he does want. I do think it's a bit of an insult. West Brom want him, other teams have wanted him, but I think at least they could at least offer maybe another 10 to 15 million pound in their bid, you know, increase their bid a little bit, because I think 10 million pound may be a bit of an insult for Chris Smalling. Chris Smalling, though, is a player who I thought played well in the Europa League final last season. I thought it was fantastic. I give him a 10 out of 10 in that game. A lot of players performed fantastically well in that game. But Chris Smalling, you know, he's won the Player of the Year at Manchester United. Players Player of the Year back in 2016. And he's won EFL Cup with us. He's won the Premier League with us a couple of times. He's won the Community Shield. He's won the what's the other one? FA Cup, EFL Cup, and all that. So yeah, a bit of an insult if you tell me. And I think we may be still in the market to get a centre back if that does happen. Not quite sure what's going to be happening with Phil Jones. He's a defender that has failed to replicate his form. He's okay. He's a player that's good when he gets them games under his belt. Whether Smalling will go, which I presume he will, and Jones will go, we definitely may need to still go for a centre-back, even though we've got quite a few in the team. But, yeah, is there anything else to update you guys on? With Matic as well, with Chelsea's Matic, is calling that Juventus have been in full discussions with Juventus about capturing Nemanja. Chelsea have been discussing with Juventus about capturing Nemanja Matic. It broke out the other day that Abramovich, the current Chelsea billionaire owner, had sanctioned it off, basically saying he's adamant to leave. There were talks around about £50 million. Chelsea rated him as a £40 million player. We should presume this deal should go over the line for Matic. I don't think it's Jose Mourinho's one of his main priorities, but I think they bonded fantastically well together at Chelsea. They're looking to basically reunite, and plus he's very, very tall as well. I think is he over 6 foot, Nemanja Matic? He's a player that he's a player I went too far. He wouldn't be my main priority. He's a player that wouldn't be my favourite. He's a player that's better than Fellaini, obviously. He's better than Fellaini. He's not a Fellaini decline. He's better than Fellaini. He's a player that's been at... who's he been at now in the past? You know, he's been at Vitesse, Benfica. And he's won a couple of Premier Leagues in 3 seasons with Chelsea. He's played that instrumental role with Kante as Nemanja Matic. But now Chelsea are looking to get Alex Sandro on the board. They've got Bakayoko on the board. They've got Morata on the board. They can basically offload to bit. They can... will to offload Nemanja Matic. He's a player that's done well for Serbia before as well. He would have been one of my main priorities, but it's adamant that he does want to leave. The deal, I don't know when the deal's going to be fully announced. I don't even know if this is a 50 million price tag or we are willing to pay the 50 million bid. But I don't know, guys. I really don't know. But he looks like the next possible midfielder that could come in. He obviously hasn't been training. He's been training on his own. He didn't go to Asia to train with the rest of the Chelsea squad because I think he's adamant he does want to leave himself, Nemanja Matic. So we could be still in the pole position to get Nemanja Matic on the board. So we'll see what happens. And also Manchester United have got Barcelona to come up as well. Barcelona is it Thursday? I think it's Thursday, wait there. I think it's Thursday, I'm not quite sure if it's Thursday, but I think it's on Thursday. Yeah, anything more to update you with? I still feel baby adamant that we do need another striker on the board. We may need a striker. We need a left winger. We need a centre defensive midfielder. Eric Dyer would be fantastic for me, but Tottenham are resisted and are reluctant to sell Eric Dyer, whose performances have been fantastic for Tottenham. We know Arsenal have got Lacazette, who's a fantastic signing for them. He's going to hit the ground running this season for Arsenal, I do think. But I still think they may need to add more depth in there, Arsenal. Chelsea, I think, are okay at the moment, but they're still looking to get Alex Sandro on the board. Manchester City have done good business so far in this transfer window. Not quite sure what's been going on with Liverpool with Naby Keita. We'll look into that. The last I heard about Naby Keita, they were basically I think they have been negotiating, but they were reluctant to sell the player because it's something to do with a 48 million release clause. I don't think it can currently be activated. German publication reported before a couple of bids had been rejected from Liverpool. Red Bulls were setting a price tag out for around about, was it 70, 80 million. They've now come in at the final hurdle again of Liverpool to try and secure the deal for him for 75 million. But I think main part of it is to do with his release clause. Basically, I think they may have to look more in the region next year to try and get him because they have to wait till his release clause goes down. There's this players. And the payment structures involved as well with it. Is it 40 million up front as well for the player? He's a player that's very, very good though. I think he got 8 goals last season, 7 assists. He's a player that's good at giant forward. He's also a very dynamic box-to-box player as well, is Naby Keita. That's been Jurgen Klopp's main priority. He's a player, well, he wants that number 8 shirt. Currently, Keita operates in that number 8 shirt, and so it does look like they've currently missed out on him now of Liverpool. Anything else up there? Yeah, guys, that's about it for today. Drop your comments and likes on the video. Tell me what you think to my channel, and I'll see you guys later on. Bye. Subscribe.